To lock in your favorite WagerTalk expert through the end of the calendar year, it would cost you close to $2,000, but you can get all sports for all of 2021 from the handicapper of your choice for only $9.99. This comes out to under $4 per day and includes any rare 5% best bets released over this time.
Hey guys, Carmine Bianco, WagerTalk.com with another edition of Stoppage Time. This is our Thursday edition. We are going to cover 4 big games across Europe, and some games being played today, and the other ones are being played later this week and on the weekend. And a lot of them have massive Champions League implications. We're going to talk about Napoli, Lazio, Roma, Atalanta. Those games are being played today in Serie A. We're also going to talk about a couple EPL games, Arsenal and Everton and West Ham and Chelsea. Those are the 4 games. With me, my co-hosts on the show, I'll bring them in. Pavlos Laguretos from Sports Memo from WagerTalk.com. It's Kevin Dolan and Nick Borrman. Kev, I'm going to go to you first. 23-14 and run right now in soccer. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, all good, Carmine. It was a nice little run over the start of the month, but had that Tottenham under last night, so that was a wee bit disappointing, getting that 89th minute penalty against us, but definitely some games that I like for this upcoming weekend.
Tuesday's show, if not for that VAR call that pulled back one of the goals from Tottenham, that final score would have been 3-1 with the only goal coming from Southampton, coming from Danny Ings, and I talked about that one on Tuesday's show. So I'm sorry you lost that play, but it kind of bites because I really wanted to hit that 3-1 scoreline. Nick, what's going on, man? How you doing, and what do you have going this week?
I was on the other end of that Tottenham game as I had Tottenham to win, so I was the happy recipient of that goal there at the end of the game. So sorry, Kev. But things are good. I up 22% on soccer plays last 3 weeks, so off winning day yesterday, hoping to carry that right over in today. Have a card up, 5-pack up for today's action, and then looking forward to the weekend and talking about these games.
Awesome. Yes, the post Mourinho at Tottenham kicks off with a win. Let's bring in the exact score savant from Spain, Greece. I think he's in Spain now. He's probably going to tell us how nice the weather is. While I've got snow up here north of Toronto in Canada. Pavlos Laguretos, how you doing, my friend?
Doing great. I'm in Greece right now, which is heating up. We're preparing for the summer. Today is a raining day. We also had an earthquake a couple of minutes ago, so things are going great. Things are going great with my bets as well. I won my 5% soccer prop last night with the over in Milan Sassuolo. I also had the over in the Tottenham match, so sorry, not sorry. Guys, I love you. So yeah, today I have a 4-pack with selections from 3 different sports. I have 2 soccer plays, an NBA play. I swept the NBA with 3-0 yesterday, and a EuroLeague play where they have the playoffs now. So yeah, things are going great.
Awesome, great to hear. You're the second guy to jump on Kev on that Tottenham game, so we are going to give you the yellow card there. There's the yellow card for you. One more, and you know what happens. You're sent into the chat with the rest of the guys. Guys, let's go right to today's games. First one, Napoli-Lazio. Napoli is even money, plus 100. The draw is plus 260. Lazio also plus 260, and the total is 2.75, which is a split line of 2.5 and 3. This is the first of 2 big games in Serie A today, both with obviously Champions League implications. Lazio are on 60 points with a game in hand. They can pull within a couple points of the top 4 with the win. Lazio have been playing well of late. We can look at their strength of schedule probably, but they can pull within 4 points with a win here as well too. Pavlos, I'm going to go to you first on this one. Give me your thoughts on this game.
Yeah, Napoli did a great job to steal some points from Inter Milan last week with that 1-1 draw. And they've been great lately with just 1 loss in their last 10 matches. They have 7 wins and 2 draws. And now they have the second best offense in the league with 66 goals, and the second best defense with 35 conceded goals. I really like Napoli in this spot here because, I have some feelings about Lazio, some bad feelings about them. I know they've been rolling lately. They have 4 straight wins, but they've been one of the most unstable teams, at least in my perspective. On the road, they haven't been great. They have 4 losses in the last 6 away matches in all competitions. Their defense looks terrible. Just can't keep clean sheets. I know they kept clean sheets in their last 2 away matches, but those matches were against Verona and Udinese. And whenever they play just a team that are even remotely good, they concede goals. So yeah, looking at how these 2 teams have played recently, Lazio, they won the reverse fixture by 2-1, 2-0 at home. I'm sorry. But Napoli, they've been great as hosts against Lazio. In the last 6 matches, they have 5 wins and just 1 draw. However, they've only kept 2 clean sheets, which could lead me to believe that Lazio could score here. However, I'm going to take Napoli to win at plus, I think it's plus 100 now. Goes up and up the past few hours. So yeah, Napoli with plus 100.
Yeah, and you make some good points there, Nick. And that's one of the things is you can only play and beat the teams that they put in front of you each and every week of this season. But when you look at, over the last 10 games or so, Napoli, obviously the tougher schedule, probably more battle tested. Playing teams like Inter, playing teams like Roma, AC Milan, Juventus. Those are obviously much tougher games. You look at Lazio, and yes, during this 5 or 4 game run of theirs, Benevento, Verona, Spezia, Udinese. Before that, there were a couple of Champions League losses to Bayern Munich, also a loss to Juventus, and another loss to Bologna. So it's obviously a step up here, but they're a quality team as well too. But as Pavlos said, once they hit the road, they seem to not carry that home form with them.
Yeah, you definitely stole the words right out of my mouth about looking at their run and saying, well, who the hell they play. Add in, they've actually won 5 in a row because you add in Serie A, that is, because you add in Crotone right before that. And I mean, none of those teams are ranked. Verona is the highest ranked team in that list, which is number 10 in the table. So it's not like you're talking about good sides. So that has me worried here for Lazio. Napoli, definitely more battle tested, definitely better results this year against the better teams. I mean, Lazio, you guys said on the road, some of their losses, basically they've done what they needed to do against the bad teams, but against the good teams, they lost at Juve, lost at Inter, lost at AC Milan, lost at Atalanta in the Cup. They did win at Atalanta in league play, which was their only win against a top 7 team on the road this year in the league. On the other hand, Napoli unbeaten in 11 at home. Last loss came back in their very first game of 2021. They beat Juve during that run, and they had draws against Inter and Atalanta. It's not a huge play for me, but I lean Napoli here in this one. I've had a lot of unsuccessful bets on or against Lazio, so that's why I'm not really huge on this play, just because they tend to screw me more often than not. But I do like Napoli as the side play here.
Yeah, very good points there, Kev. I'm going to go to you last on this. And listen, Lazio aren't out aren't out of a chance at a Champions League spot, but they're going to need a lot of things to go their way, and some tough games for the next couple of games will likely decide their season as far as top 4 spot. This game at Napoli, and then next week they host, or on the weekend, I think it was on Monday, they host AC Milan. Another big game, and a team that are in top 4 that they are chasing. Give me your thoughts on this one.
Well, just like Nick said, Lazio are on the blacklist for me just because, I just can't trust them. They're a bit like Leicester City where, anytime that I jump on board or against them, they do seem to pull out, either a shock or, fail to show up. So I like the total in this one. Lazio's last 4 games against teams sitting currently above them in the league like Napoli are. I've seen both teams to score in over 3.5 goals cash in each. So that's the way I'm going to go in this one too. Both teams to score in over 2.5. I'll take it down a notch. That's going off at around even money here. That's the way I'd play this one, as I do expect both teams to find the net here. And actually, I'm very surprised Pavlos didn't mention this, because this is another side play I like, is the penalty. 7 of Lazio's last 11 road games have featured a penalty, and the visitors have also gave up a penalty in 3 of the last 4 away games as well. So Will there be a penalty tonight? Plus 175. That looks like a big price. So, yeah, BTTS and over 2.5, even money, penalty, plus 175. I like both of those.
Awesome. Some nice
I love
props there from Kevin Dolan, WagerTalk.com. All right, guys. And that game goes at 2:45 today. The earlier game that goes at 12:30 in Serie A today is the Roma-Atalanta game. Roma are plus 240 at home. The draw is plus 280. Atalanta are even money right now, plus 100. The total here is 3. Roma's Champions League quests obviously hit a bumpy patch their last 4 or 5 games. They've dropped off the top 4 by, I think, 10 points now. So really their road to Champions League next year is probably what their focus is right now, which is next week's leg 1 of the Europa League semifinals against Man United. As far as Atalanta go, they keep rolling along. They're on 64 points, 4th best. But again, they also know that they have Napoli and Lazio nipping at their heels, so they need to continue winning. Nick, I'm going to go to you first on this one because I know in the past you've been a huge fan of this Atalanta side. Give me your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, definitely. I'll answer the question for El Rey, who just asked if anybody's on Atalanta today. I am not, but I'm also not against them. What I've decided to do here, I think there's a little bit more value, or I see a better play on the goals market here. If you look at the history between these teams, fireworks is what we're usually seeing when they get together. 5 of the last 6 between these teams has seen both teams score and over 2.5 goals come in with an average of 4 goals, including a 4-1 win by Atalanta back in December. In Serie A this year, Roma has a 21-10 over 2.5 goal record, while Atalanta is 20-11. And then Atalanta also has a 20-11 both teams to score record, although Roma only has a 16-15 both teams to score record. But really much of that is because Roma's done a good job against the crap teams in the league, as they've kept 7 clean sheets at home, although none of those have come against the top 7. And I simply just don't see them keeping Atalanta off the board here. So Roma has scored in all but 2 home games this year, while Atalanta has only been blanked twice on the road. Lots of angles really in this game, point to goals. The total's high. I think it's a 3.25 right now. So I took the combo of both teams to score plus over 2.5 goals to kind of buy that down. If it's going to go over the total, it's most likely going to happen because both teams are on the board. So it's a good way to cheapen the price, I guess you could say. I think it's around minus 130 right now for the combo play, but that's how I'm attacking this one.
All right, some good information there. Kev, I'm going to go to you next on this one. These teams, the reverse fixture in Atalanta was 4-1. Although Roma held the halftime lead in that one, a 3rd-minute goal by Zeko for them, and then the 4 goals from Atalanta coming from the 59th minute on in that game, which just shows you this team has such firepower, and it's one of the reasons why people love watching this team.
Yeah, I am going to slightly disagree with Nick on this one. And plus, I loved his intro there. You know, I'm not on them, but I'm also not against them. Okay. I like Atalanta here. But I also like the part of that with the under 3.5. You know, they're playing some great football right now. 5 straight wins, including that win over Juve last time out. As you said, Carmine as well, that reverse fixture 4-1 back in December. 3 of the most recent head-to-heads against Roma. They've won as well, so they've really got their number. Roma just seem to be drifting right now in Serie A. They're falling off the pace, even potentially getting a Europa League playoff spot. And all their focus right now seems to be on that looming semi-final against Manchester United next week, which also, probably represents their best path back into Europe next season, in all honesty. I think one of the things I've been most impressed with from Atalanta perspective is their newfound defence. Since March 1st, they've given up just 7 goals in total, which is the 2nd fewest goals allowed in the league from that point on in the season. And, unexpected goals against metrics, that drops even further to 4.99 XGA or 0.71 XGA per game. That's number 1 in the league overall in total. So they definitely have the ability to shut Roma down here. Because of that, I like Atalanta on the match line, and combining that with the under 3.5 goals is paying out at a plus 220. I really like that price. So, give me Atalanta and the under 3.5 goals prop plus 220 as my favourite play in this.
Sounds like we can both win, Kev. 2-1.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm a little worried here before I go to Pavlos, and the reason why is we're so far in this show, we always have differing opinions, and we seem to one way or another agree where we can all win on this game, and it's only fitting that as I talk about this as exact score prop, we're going to go to Pavlos, who is the exact score king, and he loves the 2-1 results. What about Pavlos Atalanta 2-1 plus 750?
I love it. I love it. The thing with Roma this season is the fact that they've been terrible against top 5 sides. I mean, they have no wins, 6 losses, and 3 draws against teams that are sitting inside the top 7 this season. They've been quite good at home. They've won 7 of their last 10 matches at home. However, all wins were against teams that are in the bottom half of the league table, so you can't take that much consideration into that. The only teams they played, the only strong teams they played at home lately were Ajax, which was a 1-1 draw, Napoli, which was a 2-0 loss, and AC Milan, which was a 2-1 loss. So they do great against lower, teams from the lower half, but they're not so good against the better teams in this Serie A. So I think Atalanta will win here. And another interesting fact I would like to say about this match is that 3 of the last 10 matches between the two sides, regardless of venue, ended up as 3-3 draws. The 3-3 correct score goes at plus 3,300. So 3-3 draw plus 3,300. I'm just a freak with numbers, so I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take just a small stake bet on the 3-3 draw. Even though, guys, I must say that I mean, I could see how this match could end up with just a few goals, just because Roma they've played a lot of matches lately. I think this will be their 5th match in the last 2 weeks, so fatigue is definitely going to be an issue. Again, I wouldn't be surprised by a low-scoring match, but I think Atalanta will win, and just a small stake bet on the 3-3 correct score at plus 3,300, around those odds.
It's either going to be 2 goals or 7 goals, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So Pavlos is going to put $33 on 3-3 at 33 to 1 odds, and that'll pay just under $1,100. I believe $10.89 if my math is correct. All right, let's get to the next game, guys. EPL now. Excuse me. Arsenal, Everton. Arsenal are minus 120 at home. The draw is plus 275. Everton is plus 320, and the total here is 2.5. I'm going to go to Kev first on this one. I'm just wondering what the motivation is in this game. There should always be motivation in the EPL to win games, but for Arsenal, they're mid-table. They're likely. I don't see them getting any higher as far as one of the top 5 Euro placings. So while Everton have a game in hand and an outside shot still at the top 4 and a Champions League spot, and Arsenal must be thinking about next week's semifinal against Villarreal and League One. That's their path to Champions League. So I have to think that maintaining a healthy squad heading into that is important. Give me your thoughts on this game.
Well, I'll be the first to say I am, a little like you, perplexed at this line, to be honest. I don't get how Arsenal are odds-on favourites here. Maybe it's the fact that they're a so-called super club and Everton aren't. But, obviously, look, European form, Arsenal look good. That 4-0 demolition job over Slavia Prague last week. But, Everton have been struggling too, winless in their last 5. But even so, I simply can't be having Arsenal here as odds-on favourites. At home this season, Arsenal have been incredibly poor. They've won just 6 of 16 at home. That's a 37.5% win rate. Those 16 games include 7 games where they even failed to score a single goal. That's the league's 4th worst return rate at home. And they got extremely fortunate in their last home game against relegation candidates Fulham, getting that 97th-minute penalty to salvage a draw. So, again, very, very patchy at home. And despite Everton's recent issues, this is a team who play extremely well on the road, registering the league's 4th best away record with 9 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses. And more importantly, haven't conceded a goal in 3 of the last 4 Premier League away matches also. So because of that, I like Everton, but I also like the under here. on the total. Everton have been much, much better defensively of late. Were unlucky against Tottenham last week to concede that second goal. And prior to that, allowed only 2 goals total on the road since mid-February, both coming against Chelsea. So, yeah, under 2.5 me in this one between Everton and Arsenal.
Yeah, and I think and this could be one of the reasons why we're seeing the line where it is right now, is if Everton's going to win, they're going to have to do something that they haven't done since, if I'm looking at it, 1996, which is going to the Emirates and beating this side. It's been quite a while that they've beaten Arsenal on their own home ground. Pavlos, give me your thoughts on this game.
Yeah, you said it, Carm. Everton haven't won here since 1996. That's 22 losses and 2 draws. However, they've scored goals in this venue. I always look at historical facts, even though, you know, we're looking at the teams that how were they like 2, 3, 5, 10 years ago. But I do take, you know, the history in these matchups into consideration. And it's hard to overlook the fact that Everton haven't won here. But we also have to say that, you know, all streaks come to an end. And I think that Everton have a fighting chance here. Kevin said it. I don't know why Arsenal are the favorites in this match. Everton, I think they'll have Rodriguez back. They're most likely healthy in this match. Arsenal, of course, there's no way to just, you know, to look towards the EPL right now because they're already 6 points behind the top 5 spots. Of course, they can mathematically still do this, but I think it's much easier to look towards doing well in the Europa League, and their match is coming up in just a few days. So, yeah, I think I'll take Everton with plus a quarter goal here at plus 105. I just don't trust Arsenal right now. They even drew against Fulham. They've only beat Sheffield United and Slavia Prague in the last 7 matches in any competition. I just don't see how Everton will lose here.
Yeah, and listen, I like the way this team plays in the sense of the players and the young guys that they have on their team. Smith Rowe, Saka, players of the future for this side. But they are without scoring, and I think Nick will probably touch on this as they're going to be missing some key components of this team. And then one final thing before I throw it to you, Nick, is while we discussed Everton's lack of wins at Arsenal, I'm buoyed by the fact that if you look at their home away this year, they're a much better team on away. They're 15th of 20 at home record-wise. On the road, they're the 4th best PL team this season with a 9-3-3 record, allowing only a goal per game, 21 to 15 goal differential. Give me your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, I always say you can judge a team by their road record, although this may be a little bit too much because they should have a better home record than they do. But I'll give this game the kiss of death and agree with both of these knuckleheads here that I don't think you can back Arsenal. I made the mistake of trying to do it this past weekend against Fulham and got burned. And, you know, leading into that game, the combo of Lacazette and Saka was really starting to look good. Aubameyang was out, and he's going to continue to be out, and I don't think he was being missed with those two playing together up front. Of course, Lacazette pulled up with a hamstring injury in that game, left with about 20 minutes to go. He's not going to be here for this match. Aubameyang is obviously not here for this match. So, yes, their scoring line is gone. And Kevin hit earlier on how good Everton has been on the road and how poor Arsenal has been at home. All of that's true. History, Pavlos mentioned, is way against us here with Everton as they lost 7 straight, haven't won since 1996. But everything going on right now, current form, I think Everton can play out a draw here at least. They could possibly win, but all they have to do is play out a draw. I was able to get the half a goal number. Pavlos mentioned a quarter of a goal. I was able to get half a goal. I think you can still get it for about minus 120, minus 125 right now. I think it's a home run to take Everton here. I don't see why Arsenal is this high. I think this line drops by the time we get to tomorrow.
Yeah, I think as we start to see who's in or out for this Arsenal squad that some Everton money will come in. I'm not really sure with Aubameyang out and Lacazette injured and also out. Nketiah replaced them in that game, but I'm not sure who you put up top, or whether it's him, whether you bring in Martinelli and you have 3 guys across. I'm not really sure, so we'll have to see what we get from them. But I think that streak of losing, as Pavlos said, I think it's like 24 straight games, that streak could come to an end on Friday. All right, let's head to the last one. West Ham and Chelsea. This one's at West Ham. West Ham's plus 375. The draw is plus 275. Chelsea minus 143. And the total is at 2.5 in this game. Let's just talk about the Champions League implications here. Chelsea obviously come off an unimpressive draw at home versus Brighton. They now travel to West Ham, who are tied with them at 55 points for that final Champions League spot, but Chelsea have it on goal differential at the moment. Chelsea, they have to be thinking about the fact that 3 days from now, or 3 days from that game with West Ham, they're going to be playing Real Madrid in the semifinals of the Champions League in League One. So I'm not really sure what Tuchel's going to do with this side, whether he's going to rest anybody or not. And then you look at West Ham. Yeah, they dropped points against Newcastle. They almost made a fantastic comeback there to at least nip a point, down 3-0 and down a man. They end up losing 3-2. And they've got the easier run out after this game. They've got Burnley, Everton, Brighton, West Brom, and Southampton. So if they can get any points from this game or a win, it just puts them in such a great spot to play in the Champions League next season. Pavlos, I'm going to go to you first on this one.
Yeah, West Ham, I've said it all year. I said it in the first, I think the first Stoppage Time we did in the season, that I believe in them. I think that they actually have a chance to finish in the top 4 and maybe claim a Champions League ticket. However, this is one of the most exciting, not regarding the title, but all the other placement matches. The placement, the top 4 is up for grabs. The other 3 spots, United have 66 points. Of course, they will most likely capture the second spot. However, Leicester are 3rd with 56. Chelsea are 4th with 55. West Ham are 5th with 55. And then Tottenham and Liverpool have 53. If you told me that Tottenham, Liverpool, Everton, and Arsenal will all be outside the top 5, I'd say you'd be crazy. I mean, it's just crazy. Anyway, West Ham, they sold off one of their best attackers. They only have Antonio in the roster as a pure forward, who is also injured in this match. However, they've scored 11 goals in their last 4 matches alone, and they're coming in hot against Chelsea, who we said it again. They are very good defensively, but I think that they'll be in danger today. Of course, Chelsea will try to take it slow, play it out, and maybe with a few goals. But West Ham, they smell the blood. They know that if they win here, they'll overtake Chelsea in the standings for the 4th spot, and that would be huge. And Chelsea, they beat West Ham 3-0 in the first match. West Ham were terrible. They didn't have a single shot on target. And the thing is, with West Ham, they've been great at home against Chelsea. In the last 6 matches, they've won 4. They lost 1, and 1 was a draw. They've been great at home this season, and I think that they could actually challenge Chelsea for some points here. So West Ham with plus half a goal goes at 107. West Ham with 3/4 goals is a little lower. I think I'm between there. I think that Chelsea would remain at the 4th spot, maybe with a draw here, so it wouldn't be catastrophic. But Tottenham and Liverpool are just 2 points behind them, so it could be catastrophic. So this is a really tough match to read. I probably stay away from here. But I do like the plus odds on West Ham with plus half a goal here.
Yeah, and I can't fault you for it. Listen, Chelsea have been fantastic under Tuchel. He's got his he's got his job ahead of him. Not his job. His job's not at risk. I mean, he's got a job ahead of him for what he's got. This game is a big one. He's got obviously 2 big ones with Real Madrid. And these games are important. You just can't rest players. Look at their schedule the rest of the way. And after this game, they'll face Fulham at home between those two games that they play against Real Madrid. And then they've got a trip to face Man City. They've got Arsenal and they've got Leicester before finishing off against on the road against Aston Villa. So it isn't the easiest of schedules for this Chelsea squad where you need wins and you can't be dropping points. Nick, I'm going to go to you next on this one.
Chelsea's only path to the Champions League for next year is to win the Champions League this year. I don't see them in the top four. You just hit it on the head. They got a really tough schedule coming up. They're congested with FA Cup and Champions League, and they got a lot of firepower right behind them with easier schedules. So I'm making the bold prediction. I don't think Chelsea's going to finish top four. And it starts here. I agree with Pavlos. I mean, everything he said is right on the money with West Ham. I think they have a great chance to cover this number. I don't know if you mentioned the look-ahead spot for playing against Real Madrid. You might have. Maybe I tuned out. But, I mean, that's a huge factor here, too, knowing that they got the semifinals this upcoming week against Real Madrid. And, yes, they do need to win this game to stay in the top four, but they should have beaten Brighton this past weekend and couldn't do it. So I don't have any faith right now in Chelsea laying this number on the road. West Ham has played them very tough. They've only lost once in the last 6 at home against Chelsea, and they've been fantastic this year at home. I mean, they have draws against Man City and Arsenal. They have wins over Tottenham and Leicester, so they've proven they can play with the big teams. So I like West Ham. I like them catching a half a goal as well. Hopefully Kevin does not agree and give us the kiss of death here on this one too.
Yeah, I'm not enjoying this show from the sense of we're agreeing on too many things and the consensus that we have going on. Kev, I'm going to give you the final word on this one, whether you want to agree or disagree with Mr. Borrman, who tuned me out when I mentioned they're playing Real Madrid. But I'm perfectly fine with people tuning me out. My wife does it pretty much every single day of the week. So, Kev, give me your thoughts.
Disagree, of course. Look, before I start that too, Pavlos probably not going to believe me here, but I did actually write it down in my notes to give him props today, actually, but he brought it up first in terms of, when we did the EPL look-ahead show at the start of the season, he picked West Ham as his side to overperform. And that's exactly what they'll be doing all season. That was a great pick by him. I picked Southampton. And I believe, who'd Nick pick? Sheffield United, I believe Nick picked. So, I mean, we were way
what are you talking
in
about?
terms of that. But I'm pretty sure it was Sheffield United. Look, for me, it's just injuries in this game. West Ham are absolutely decimated here. No Declan Rice, no Dawson, no Antonio, so on. So I just think they're running out of gas at the poor end of the season, right when they need to be at their best. Even at home, we know West Ham have been incredibly strong, second best home record in the league, right behind Manchester City. But I just think this is honestly a bridge too far with their mounting injury crisis. So I'll give you the angle that you want in terms of me going against you, because I do think Chelsea find a way to win here.
All right, that's good. Apparently, you should never make comments about your wife while you're doing a live show, even though she's in a room about 100 meters away or whatever it is. She somehow picked up on that, and I got a WhatsApp that says, "Wow, that was harsh." Anyways, guys, thanks to everyone for tuning in. Listen, I didn't mention at the beginning of the show, we do have a show special. It is still up. It is a MLS 99 is the promo. You can find it on all the Cappers pages, except for, I believe, Kevin Dolan, who doesn't do MLS soccer. I'm gonna bring him over to the dark side at some point. But you can get 30 days of soccer, including all 5% plays, for only $99. You just click over. You'll find it on the right-hand side of the everybody's Cappers page. No coupon is needed. Also, speaking of 5% plays, I do have one up today. In soccer, it goes obviously this afternoon. That play is $35, or you can get it for $53 with the guarantee. You'll notice some changes over at the WagerTalk site that we're really excited about. We've got a leaderboard that you can literally click and see who the hottest guy is the last 3 days, 30 days, 7 days in each and every sport, and sort of follow along. I think it's just as important finding a guy who's hot sometimes as finding a guy who's cold, because it pretty much works out the same way. If you need me to explain that, I'll do it on the next show. Again, guys, thanks for watching. We'll be back next Tuesday. That'll be the Champions League edition. Hit that like button, and thanks for the guys for giving us a lot of actionable info today. Take care and best of luck, guys.
Are you tired of games of the year and 100-unit locks? If so, check out the professional handicappers at WagerTalk.com today. We leave all that nonsense for the other guys. And for a limited time, new users get their first daily picks purchase up to $40 for only $1. $1? Whose idea was that? Johnny Detroit? I guess so. To redeem this special, just go to WagerTalk.com, choose a handicapper and their picks package using coupon code TRYWagerTalk when checking out.